I mean, it's not quite as easy, but you also have the Winter's Curse. I mean, it's hard to land it where you get a group up, but if you do, it's pretty easy for Tiny to just walk in there and set himself up. Uh, Darksea would make the situation a lot easier, but again, Mineski,
10 seconds
they're the
remaining.
ones here in the hot seat.
TNC Predators.
Give
Cool.
KP back that Omni Knight, and he did a great job, and he really didn't allow any of his heroes to die that very much. Just the sustain he offered was pretty darn fantastic, and up against that Ember, it's probably going to be rather effective as well.
Yeah, I am a bit worried for TNC here. Mineski is going back to that sort of support duo. Not even support duo, just that healing duo with Winter Wyvern and Omni Knight in that it's going to be very hard to kill someone off. You're going to need a good amount of burst, I think, and I'm not seeing that burst damage coming out from TNC just yet. The Puck can be a burst damage hero if you do build that Dagon. Takes a while for it to come online, but they really have to prioritize picking off that backline. That Winter Wyvern will be a complete pain in the butt. Not only that, the Omni Knight with the spell, healing amp, and even Jug with healing ward just means that Mineski's that much harder to kill.
Well, final banner, and we'll get to see how both these teams plan to close this off. So far, it does seem TNC do plan to run that Magnus in the position 4 role, which is absolutely fair enough.
Mineski's turn to pick.
See if that will be the case with their last pick, but Mineski, for the moment, will be the ones to start. Still does feel like Mineski are lacking a bit in that, like you said, in grouping those heroes up so, the Tiny can go to work. So they don't really have the space for a Darkseer anymore.
10 seconds remaining.
Do you go for, do you even just make the Tiny a position 4 and just get another mid-core for the side of Mineski here?
It's really open for debate. I mean, there is some flexibility in their draft. You can run the Omni Knight off, you can run the Tiny off, you can run the Jug mid if you want. I feel like they do need a dedicated mid here. I don't think they're going to go for something like a DK. Their push is not great, but not too bad with the Juggernaut Tiny. I think they might want sort of stable mid. Something that can face off against the Puck. Maybe something that can jump as well. Maybe something like a Queen of Pain. That is a possibility. So you do have that innate mobility in there as well. You could also look at something just stable, like a Viper would be a very safe choice. No real need for it in this game, I feel, but it's something that won't lose the lane. I'm not sure if it's going to win the lane directly against the Puck either, but it will hold its own no matter what circumstance you're at.
Both teams playing a few mind games with each other in terms of what heroes are doing what. Neski will let the time tick down to the wire to make this final decision. Can't really blame him for that whatsoever.
TNC Predators.
Okay.
They go for the line.
They've put faith in one of your favorites, John. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I feel really happy to see that. Just really surprised that the Tricore is already there. The Jug, Tiny, and Omni Knight Tricore. So it does look like we will probably see Tiny being played by Moon, I guess, in the mid. And that should be fine. It should be able to find something. I'm not sure who its mid matchup will be. Again, you do have some confusion as well coming from TNC with a Puck in the Ember Spirit. I think it's going to be likely be Ember Spirit with an offlane Puck.
Choose your hero.
Big man coming out for TNC. They will go for the Terrorblade, so Magnus position 4. Cuckoo will be the offlane Puck, and Armel will take over the mid again on his signature Ember. Terrorblade, of course, should just be played by Gabby, who is a fantastic Terrorblade player at that. And we'll be back on the Tiny, and Arjit, of course, will be back on his Jug. Overall, I think we'll both answer this question this time around, John, but which draft gives you more faith in game number 3?
I'd have to say, oh man, it's really hard to say. It's pretty even for me, personally. Yes, you could make an argument for TNC. They do have a good amount of illusion spam coming out here with AU as well. So they can keep that
Seconds remaining.
annoying push going, and they have pretty good, really hard to catch heroes in the Ember Spirit and the Puck, and great team fight with that Magnus as well. So there is some really good synergy coming out for TNC. MSKI's side, good amount of single target control, great counter initiation with Winter Wyvern, and the Omni Knight Jug and Winter Wyvern can make sure that no one in the team dies. So I think there's some power in MSKI's lineup as well. I just think that when it comes down to like big 5v5s, TNC does win out. They have pretty good push as well with that Terrorblade.
I'm also of the opinion that TNC probably has a slightly better draft. However, I will agree that this game could go either way. Overall, John, I just like to go ahead and say, best of luck to both these teams. They've both, played their hearts out throughout these qualifiers. Of course, both of them want that position for the major to represent the Southeast Asian region and make us proud, John. As an Australian, I don't have any Australians to support or any Australian teams, so I will say Southeast Asia is the region that I have to back. I want the best candidate in there, So winner of this game, certainly going to be that with Fnatic, and again, best of luck to both. Hopefully we're in for a very entertaining game.
I'm looking forward to it, Mike. It should be pretty bombastic. You do have TNC with this massive team fight combo coming out, and you have Gabby on the Terrorblade. You have everyone else wishing everyone to have some fun. It is the last game from a long day of games, so everyone's gonna have some fun while also trying to secure themselves that last spot for Southeast Asia into the Disneyland Major in Paris.
I am in your debt.
TNC, with these kind of drafts, when they bring these drafts out, the aggression's coming, right? Like, they're gonna spend the first 5-10 minutes again getting those items up, getting those levels up, but once they're ready, I don't think there's any slowing them down.
Oh, hell yeah.
MSKI, again, I feel like Arjit is gonna spend a bit more time farming this game around because he doesn't have the Impowder. He's gonna have to wait till he gets that Battle Fury, and of course you have to farm a bit more after that. He's going to be relying a bit on his team to get some work done for him. I guess you can already tell by the picks, however. They plan to be rather defensive and put their faith in Arjit to carry them through.
The battle begins.
KP should probably actually have an easier lane this time around as well up against that Terrorblade. Like, once that Metamorphosis is over, Gabby is probably going to have a rather difficult time sustaining in the lane up against KP.
Yeah, it's not going to be a fun time for Gabby up against an offlaner who can hold his own for extended amounts of time. So KP should have a good time here, and as you mentioned, Gabby might end up struggling a bit. Hopefully TNC can fix that, as Terrorblade doesn't have the best time playing catch-up and farm. I mean, he can do it, and we have seen teams successfully do that, but you do sacrifice a lot of your, early mid-game for that.
This reward
Arjit as well, though. He will be up against Cuckoo's Puck, and Puck does tend to have some pretty harsh right-click damage. So, going to probably be burning through some regen quite quickly in this safe lane of his. Ninja Boogie got to do his best to keep him safe. Hopefully set up a kill or two for Arjit in this lane, but definitely not going to be the easiest up against the Puck Magnus, both of which can be very slippery. Tim's already showing the harassment off with that Empower, has skilled up. Meanwhile, mid lane, Armel and Moon will be there back into the mid lane one last time. This is another one of those matchups where it does seem fairly even with both heroes, but rather than both just feeling more comfortable to farm, it's one of those like lane matchups where anyone could die at any moment once they've hit that level 3 or 4 mark. In fact, hold that thought, because Cuckoo will end up falling top lane. Ninja Boogie did set up with the stun, and it appears the Hex. Arjit going for the spin and getting the job finished.
Really unfortunate start for Cuckoo, getting caught out like that. Giving MSKI that early level 2 is pretty big. Again, they have a good amount of single target stun, especially with that line. I'm not sure if they can really go for the contest here.
Ooh, big miss from Ninja Boogie. Jet didn't have the spin available anyway, but it would have been some decent harassment coming out. Meanwhile, bot lane, Gabby going to find himself in trouble now. KP moving forward. Purification is on cooldown, and Splinter Blast will not go anywhere near Gabby. But this is what we talked about. Like, Gabby is eventually going to run out of those tangos, and it's going to be a very, very difficult lane for him.
Yeah, it's not going to be a fun time again laning against this dual off lane of really strong sustain heroes. You can't really trade harass too well, as you have no real way to regen your own HP without items.
Like Arjit now starting to slow down a bit in terms of last hits. He's forced to salve up. Only has one shared tango left on the jug. And Cuckoo on that puck does tend to hit very hard just with those normal basic attacks. Boogie really has to make sure doesn't allow them to get too far or too close to the jug.
Yeah, they are doing quite a good job of that. Again, Cuckoo and Tim's not getting, not really matching the EXP just yet, and the puck not really matching the last hits too well, although he is leading by a bit, but that is down to just a slight range advantage, so it is a decent enough start for both sides. A bit better again for MSKI as they do secure that early kill on the puck, but it is drawing even so far in terms of raw farm.
Gabby, I mean, we said he was going to have a tough lane, but in terms of last hits, he is getting pretty darn far ahead. KP hasn't been as effective as we once thought. Of course, as the levels go up, his effectiveness will rise, but for the moment, Gabby is fine. The top lane, Arjit trying to go after Tims. A nice dodge on the orb from Arjit. Tims will be able to skewer away and salve himself up. Arjit will do the exact same thing.
Yeah, again, just really a lot of potential here for TNC as they do have a lot of mobility, but...
Oh, the spin. He has no skewer available. Tims, he has to juke this one out, but Arjit's going to find him. Secondary kill coming out for this jug early on. And that is a fantastic start for the MSKI. However, Cuckoo trying to find the revenge kill. And it looks like, oh, in fact, he doesn't find it. The wand was there. Arjit, healing ward has been leveled up. Now Cuckoo continuing the chase, and he has the orb available. Arjit can't stay there.
Oh, no.
In fact, he does, and they're going to go for Ninja Boogie instead because of those bounty runes. Though Ninja does manage to get it regardless. Now stuns him up, and Cuckoo unfortunately misses out on everything.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Cuckoo. Could have gone for the kill on Ajit or secure that rune. Gets none of that. Doesn't even get too much damage off on the line. So, pretty big win for MSKI. And a bit of a waste of time for TNC. Do paper off just a bit in the last hits, but not too much. Again, still pretty even in this lane. Just a bit of a rough trade on resources there.
Ajit completely out of regen. In a lot of trouble, it seems. The Boogie will return. We'll give him another salve. Healing ward is available anyway if he so chooses to use it. Looks like he will go for the salve option. Tim's starting to stack up a bit. While Armel, mid lane, does manage to pick up a haste rune, and we haven't looked back into this mid lane very much, but Moon has started to take over in terms of last hits on that Tiny. To be expected with the tree grab, and Armel keeping up, but is 7 last hits behind or so.
Yeah, not the best time for Armel, but at the same time, not the worst. It's a pretty decent start for Moon, and he should be able to escalate from here. I'm interested to see if Moon will opt to rotate early on. Does feel like, he should be applying a bit more pressure in the side lanes. There's not much to be done on mid if his supports don't really rotate. And Ninja Boogie is in the back, but he's mainly there just to soak some EXP, I feel. Could go for a smoke play.
Nice rotation from the Ember. He will be the first one to rotate from that mid lane and does find a kill onto Raging Potato. That will make it a 1-2 this game, 7 minutes in. Looks like Gabby actually being forced into the jungle now as that Terrorblade as well. KP at that level 5 mark, Purification starts to hurt a hell of a lot more, and well, wasting money on regen over and over again. Going to be quite frustrating for the position 1. They'd rather just go do the easier work in the jungle for the moment. Not to mention, he does have the Empower available from the Magnus, which does work for the Terrorblade. So, why the hell not?
Yeah, it's a very fast time to farm for Gabby. I think the one thing is that, you know, he is still pretty much leading the creep board right now. 53 to 5 compared to Tiny's 43 to 24, so he's not actually having too bad of a time. He did leave one of his camps with a creep with 19 HP, which is curious to me, but hey, perfectly fine.
We'll make mistakes. Looks like Moon will make his way into the jungle, though there are 3 heroes waiting for him there, and the shrine will be activated. They are still making a run away from Moon. Now Avalanche Toss, a lot of damage. He just takes down Cuckoo immediately with that double damage. Cuckoo,
Yeah.
you're too happy about that.
Yeah, you do have to remember that the burst damage coming out from Tiny is pretty potent. Along with that double damage rune, you know, while you're in the air, one right click, that would be enough to clean you up when you land. So, pretty potent. Nice rotation coming out from Moon.
Meanwhile, KP and Raging Potato taking out AU at the bot lane, who was left alone to soak XP on that Shadow Demon. And again, MSKI finding the lead here, 1-4, at around the 9-minute mark of the game. Moon looking for more on that Tiny now, trying to be even more aggressive. Now spot out Tim's. Can't quite get in range for him yet. This rate, if Moon can find a couple more kills, he's going to have a very quick blink coming out on this Tiny. In fact, he was going to go for a play onto Armel, but Armel does remnant away before Ninja Boogie can set up with the stun.
And again, we're sitting at a pretty moderately paced game. Better, I mean, faster paced than the last one, for sure, at 1-4 at 9. But definitely not the typical Southeast Asian game, which is usually a lot of dying by 10 minutes. Seems to be a bit more calculated here, which is understandable, as both sides really don't want to take the unnecessary risk, throwing themselves out front, giving themselves a bit of a disadvantage if it doesn't work out, instead opting to play safe, find farm in their course, and so far it is, you know, working out to the way of MSKI just a bit more. 3k net worth lead for them at 10 minutes in, and all their course really taking the lead here. I think the one thing that TNC is lacking behind in is Cuckoo's farm. Cuckoo is most definitely quite a fair bit behind. 1k behind his own Terrorblade. Not a good spot to be in if you're TNC.
Certainly not. Okay, we'll try to catch up in the farm game, up at that top lane. He does have a bit of safe farm for the moment. Jit, he been up to? Still keeping up in net worth quite well. Just trying to stack those Wraith Bands for the moment, and it appears that is the game plan from both him and Gabby. Blink Dagger as well will come out on Moon now, so Moon can make a hell of a lot of work happen for the side of MSKI with this. They will go for an immediate smoke up. Question is who the target will be, and well, there's an easy one in the mid lane. Magnus is going to be there, but they looks like they'd rather go down bot where their Armel is showing his face. Armel Purification basically takes out half his HP. Remnant away, and they are trying to find him. Ninja Boogie, he will find AU. Moon wasn't quite in range to go for the blink onto Armel. Continue to rotate around, trying to find a target. And he will eventually just settle for the Shadow Demon. Nice little pickup from Moon. Nothing wrong with just picking up a support. Jid actually going after Tims. He does have the Omni available, but wasn't quite in range for it. They will, however, be able to secure this tier 1 tower at this rate, although like MSKI starting to back off a bit.
It does look like MSKI should at least be able to take that tier 1 down bot. No defense coming out so far from TNC. That looks to be the first tower of the game. So, nice little start here for MSKI. 5-1 tower as well. 12 minutes in. They are TPing in Armel. But
KP
he is.
gonna be perfectly fine with Armel being there. Doesn't really care whatsoever. Now, Raging Potato will even join in, and Armel probably regretting his decision to come down here.
Radiant's bottom
KP will finish that tower off very, very easily, and well, this is why they continue to give him the Omni Knight. He just does a fantastic job on this hero.
They are really applying pressure with that hero. KP has done a fantastic job just keeping that bot lane under constant pressure. And that does mean that his team does have space around the map to do what they want. There is a smoke coming out from TNC though.
Now they will jump in top lane. Nice blink from Moon, though he will still get chained up by Armel. This should be an easy kill for the side of TNC. But Moon still trying to make a run for it. Really can't do anything though. Nice Winter's Curse comes in at the last minute, and now Moon, he has the setup for the Avalanche toss. Is it going to be enough though? It looks like it will to take out Cuckoo, and now Armel can't finish the job. Arjit meanwhile finds AU on the Shadow Demon once again. Meanwhile Gabby does get Ninja Boogie, but Armel is still being chased down. All remnants being used, and Moon knows that's the cue. He does manage to get a double on the Tiny, and I mean, my goodness, MSKI. They are doing... Again, I just wonder where this team was the whole qualifiers. Like, they looked like they were struggling the whole time, and now in the lower bracket final, they against TNC, they seem to just have their footing.
Radiant's middle
Yeah, it's
tower
really strange, but it's a good time for them to be back on. Again, this is a very pivotal match for them. And they are finding everything they want from this map so far. Gonna push in that tier 1 mid as well. At least get a lot of chip damage done on it. Although TNC will not give this one for free anymore.
Arjit, be okay. Have the spin available just in case. In fact, he's thinking about going back in, but it's a bit of mana. Whole of TNC is around that mid lane. They do not want to let that tier 1 go down.
under attack.
Looks like they may have no choice, however, because Arjit is continuing that chip damage. With KP there, he really is not afraid of dying, so
Has fallen.
they will claim it for themselves. And again, MSKI just continuing this map control. 4K net worth lead their way, and they've immediately smoked up looking for another target. Gems could get caught out here, though. They look like they're going to loop around to the top lane.
Dire's top
Armel
tower
will go
is
into the
under
mid,
attack.
and now they spot out some more heroes in that mid lane.
The smoke was popped by Armel remnanting back, so rather unfortunate for MSKI.
Rely not upon fortune.
Gabby right now pretty much just TPing around the map, just trying to find a spot to farm. MSKI just trying to make sure he can't do that. Just chasing him around the map with this Tiny.
Dire are scanning.
And getting very close to having an Echo Saber up now. Armel does finally get the drums up on the Ember, but again, he has to remember the hell out, understanding the Tiny was there. Meanwhile, the Radiant Courier does also end up going down as well, so that's going to make things just a little bit harder for the side of TNC.
Yeah, it's going to slow down progression for these guys at TNC just a bit more. You know, having those crucial items come out a bit later is going to hurt a bit. At the very least, they're going to have to go back to base to get those items on themselves.
Boogie finds a kill, although TNC commit the RP, trying to kill KP off. Guardian Angel will protect him for the moment. Rest of his team is coming in from the mid lane, and KP will literally walk out. There were 3 or 4 heroes on him, but doesn't seem to mind at all. Now Moon may go for another kill onto Gabby. So close yet so darn far. He needed one more right click, but he ran out of the tree.
Yeah,
Crazy.
rather unfortunate for MSKI, but really counting stars here for TNC. Just managing to save Gabby is pretty darn good deal. I mean, he isn't really leading the way right now. If he did taper off and start falling behind, it would have been a huge, costly loss for TNC. They are definitely depending on him to scale into that late game so far. And, you know, right now he is maintaining parity with MSKI, so he wants to actually just stay there, maybe pull ahead as time goes on, but TNC definitely playing on the back foot here, not taking too much risks.
Dire's
Just holding on to that Radiant jungle for the moment. Gabby still desperately trying to get that Mad style up. Getting very close to that ultimate orb, but That net worth advantage really starting to go the way of MSKI. Arjit starting to take over on that jug as well. Gonna have the Maelstrom coming out and going straight into that Mjolnir as well. Omni Slash really gonna start to hurt the side of TNC quite hard. They've just got to kind of weather the storm at the moment, it seems. Just wait till Moon becomes less relevant in this game. The only problem is you still have KP and Arjit to worry about. Arjit.
Yeah, it does take a while until that Tiny starts losing its effectiveness, and looks like they will be able to take this tier 2 just fine. No contest from TNC. And I really don't see TNC coming out for defense just yet. I mean, they don't have the blink on Tims. It's not going to be there for a very long time. They had to blow RP on one target and they couldn't even kill him off. Things are not looking great for TNC so far.
Roshan was being attempted, but MSKI think better of it. Just leave it alone for the moment. MSKI again looking for another target.
Are scanning.
His rune is there on Moon, so he can sneak his way in, and now he does have the Echo Saber, though Tims experiencing a bit of lag. Ask for the pause. Isn't it? Is at a pretty awkward position though, Cuckoo. Like currently, Orb's there, where it's leading. I mean, Moon's probably just gonna jump him and kill him straight away.
Yeah, it's a rather unfortunate spot to be in. We'll see if he does bite that bait.
Cuckoo at least has the blink now, so he can phase shift and try to get his way out.
It's a fair point. Could try that. Looks like Moon will still find him either way. Not going for it,
Gabby's a bigger target. John Moon's about to run into him, and he does. Blink is ready to go. Gabby really doesn't want to fall right now, but Moon waiting for his teammates. They will come in. The Hex is there, the finger, and Gabby just disappears. I mean, they missed out on Cuckoo, but they got the even better target in Gabby.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard time for Gabby. Again, just slowing down the farm of this Terrorblade hurts TNC a lot because again, they are riding on him to really lift them up into that late game. And so far, I mean, his items are still coming out. It's just that I'm not sure if they're coming out soon enough.
Mel. Trying to go into that Maelstrom build. You see the Manta finally being completed on Gabby. That will help the cause just a bit, but if you look at Arjit, once again, he's going to have the Sergeant Yasha up soon. Looks like he's got the full Mjolnir coming out, perhaps. In fact, no. He has opted to go for the Sergeant Yasha first. Why the hell not? Oh, AU being a bit risky with that disruption. And does do a bit of chip damage to Arjit, but nothing to really write home about. We'll end up finding Cuckoo. Holding on to the blink. He will blink the right way. Avalanche is there in time, but the silence gonna stop him from tossing Cuckoo. He will get it now, and Cuckoo will find himself dead again. Moon on a 5-0 and will tip Cuckoo for his trouble.
Yeah, again, just a lot of early rotations coming out for Moon paying off. We are at 20 minutes now and 5 kills. Pretty active on the map, this guy. Just walking around trying to find those single target pickoffs. And with how far ahead he's been, he is really confident in finding those kills, which I really can't blame the guy for.
Roshan going down very, very quickly. MSKI continuing the momentum their way. Sergeant Yasha fully completed on Arjit. Aegis now available, and they will smoke. MSKI so darn close to securing their spot at this major. 11k net worth lead now. It's their game to lose. TNC kind of nowhere near being able to pull back quite yet. Things go from bad to worse as well. The Shadowblade is up now on the Tiny, so Moon has much more roam potential. They were hunting Gabby, but just illusions being there. Nevertheless, they can set up for the tier 2 bot tower, and that will only leave one outer tower up at the top lane once that one's finished.
Yeah, and again, the map is shrinking down for TNC. They're gonna run out of space to farm once their outer towers are taken, and it's gonna be much harder for Gabby to try to keep up. He has been doing a good job keeping up in terms of farm.
Radiant's bottom
You know,
tower
his
is under
net worth
attack.
is not too far behind the Jugs. It's just that the rest of the team has been lagging behind by a fair bit.
Moon does break a smoke on Cuckoo. They will find him though. Dream Call is there. Moon though will turn around and start fighting. Now, Winter's Curse is perfect from Raging Potato. They've got to set up for Moon with the Avalanche Toss, and he jumps in, going to clear up Cuckoo, and he does, though. He's copying a lot of damage, but there's the Cold Embrace to protect him. Now, AU jumping in. Moon still perfectly fine throughout all this. KP running in to help out, and now MSKI just want to go even further, though Gabby with that Metamorphosis is quite scary, and it looks like they are going to back off for the moment. Arjit, though, moving his way down to the tier 3 bot tower, looking to go for a very, very early high ground push. They can feel it, John. MSKI so close right now. Chains will come out onto 2 heroes. They've got to try and delay this on the side of TNC. But things are looking really bad, and Moon jumps in again. He'll find AU. Nice Thunder will come out. They might finally find him. In fact, no. There will be a Guardian Angel coming out. Moon is still alive somehow, and now the Cold Embrace as well. Arjit just ripping them apart on the backlines and going after Gabby. The spin. Arjit can't really afford to die right now. He's the main DPS. He does have Aegis regardless. KP and Raging Potato keeping Moon alive for so darn long. This rock has cheated death too many times, although this time there will be a Cold Embrace once again. T3 so close, but they don't want to risk it. Armel jumping in. Moon has plenty of mana to go back in, but everything's on cooldown. Now they get the chains on Arjit, and that's a big pick-off. They will find him. Armel feeling it, wants to go for more. Raging Potato probably will end up dying, although no, in the tree line, goes for the TP. He will make it out just in time. At the very least, TNC do manage to get the position 1 of MSKI, and a fair bit of gold goes their way.
Definitely so. It's a nice little bounce back for TNC. Not the biggest swing yet. They are still definitely playing from behind, but that kill definitely helps their cause. They do manage to hold onto their high ground as well. So we can see Gabby slowly building up, gonna build into that Eye of Skadi next, and that should help him out. Should you know, enable him to stand in front a bit longer. Still not gonna fix all their issues though, as you know, MSKI is still looking pretty darn good. They have a lot of trouble trying to burst anyone down, and they don't really have burst damage coming out yet. No Dagon and Puck.
Dire's
You
middle
know, all he has is a Veil of Discord, but their magic damage is kind of lacking. We're not seeing anything amazing come out just yet. So the sustain of MSKI is a major issue for TNC to face up against.
Radiant are scanning.
25 minutes into this game, 3-14 now. Net worth lead remains at 11k. TNC holding on right now to their hopes of the major.
I feel like at this point in the game, you actually do want to see a bit more farm on TNC's other course. You want to see Armel to finally play catch-up. You want to see Cuckoo's Puck actually overtake this Winter Wyvern from Raging Potato. It's really not in a good spot. I feel like their effectivity is very much hampered by their lack of itemization right now. Like, if Cuckoo had even a Dagon 1 along with his Veil, it might be much easier to burst someone in backline, especially that Winter Wyvern. Again, Raging Potato and KP have been major issues in these pushes.
Well, bot lane, they do get the tier 3 tower, and that will be enough for MSKI. It will open up the shrines now. They can take those and, again, maintain the map control they already have. This will make it very easy for the next Roshan, though there is a fair bit of time till we'll see that. TNC still rather quiet, again, just trying to catch up. Net worth advantage extends to 13k now for MSKI. Moon currently standing there with a double damage rune. Bring up that Dota plus win probability. John, it was at about 100% before. Currently 95% chance apparently that MSKI wins this game.
I mean, it's a pretty dominant lead so far. 3-14, 27 minutes in. 13k network lead for MSKI. TNC is definitely not completely out yet, but they do have to play near perfectly to jump back in and really take command of this game. Or, you know, MSKI could throw hard, but they have been pretty on point this past game.
Oh, KP doesn't want to die like this. Guardian Angel will come out, and Moon wants to help his teammate out. KP, the toss away will save him with the cold embrace. What a play, and now the Winter's Curse is set up, though disruption will be there. Does Moon want to make the jump? It doesn't look like they want to take any risks right now. But apparently TNC feeling it. They will go for the T1 mid tower. Things are very, very tense right now, John, in this game. I mean, it looks a lot more distant than it really is. Like, TNC can take a team fight rather easily if given the right opportunity. MSKI really not wanting to give that away.
Yeah, we still haven't seen a massive RP from Tims as well, so that option for TNC is still there.
Tim's nowhere near going for like a blink dagger or anything like that, but that's completely understandable. I mean, he's just been spending so much of his gold trying to get the vision around the map to secure the farm for his cause. Armel playing with fire. Be able to remnant away. Burn. Looking for Cuckoo once again on that puck. Cuckoo realizing what's going on will back the hell out of there. So it does look like MSKI are ready to take that final outer tower of TNC. Arjit does make his way up. Roshan may respawn in 3 seconds. We're about to find out. In fact, it will respawn in 1.5 minutes from now.
Yeah, fairly short respawn timer for that. Should give MSKI a good time to rotate after taking out this tier 2. Does look like TNC is starting to step up their game a bit, taking out a few tier 1s that they have left as well, so they do get a nice gold boost from all these towers.
Well, the T2 does go down. T1 being taken at the bot lane. Arjit does manage to actually pick up an Eye of Skadi while all that was happening. Now KP will be back to defend up against all the illusions of the Terrorblade. Looks like the main focus for Gabby right now is to finish that BKB, and he does do so. Now that's going to help a hell of a lot up against Moon with that Burst Avalanche Toss combo. It's not going to help so much up against Arjit's Omni Slash, which is going to do a hell of a lot of damage, but still, as long as he doesn't get caught out without that BKB, he can have a very large impact. In fact, they found Arjit. He will be able to spin out of the chains and away.
Yeah, I do like this BKB pickup from Gabby. He is working towards a Butterfly next, which should help him with damage and in terms of tanking through that Omni Slash as well. So there is still, again, a sliver of hope here for TNC. I just wish we could see the same farm progression on Armel and much more so on Cuckoo's puck. It really feels like he needs so much more to get going here. I mean, sure, you have utility with just the Veil and the Blink, but really, I just feel like you're going to need a bit more magic damage coming out here. Just rather unfortunate that Cuckoo just can't afford to go that big gun route.
MSKI did smoke up, and Moon, he found Tim straight away. Does burst him down. Now have they found OU? It's not quite there. Still, Tims does end up losing his life, and that may be enough for them to go for the Roshan attempt. As soon as that Assault Cuirass came out on Moon, they wanted to go for that surprise reveal straight away. Looks like KP on the Omni Knight will go for the Roshan attempt. Definitely not going to work out too well for him, I'm sure, but gonna give it a try.
Just keeping the big guy busy as Ajit works his way there, and they are scanned out, so
Yeah,
TNC
Armel.
is aware of this Roshan.
Make it obvious they're aware. MSKI though, do they actually back off here? And Armel getting started. KP has all abilities available, so Guardian Angel has come in clutch before. Looks like MSKI will back off from the Roshan for the moment. KP again will take the role of the Roche. Just slowly ticking it down.
He's doing a pretty decent job at it, you have to admit. Like, he is doing damage.
Damage is there. Moon, meanwhile, double damage has been caught out, however. If they take this man out, it's a big, big deal. They root him in place, and Gabby gets started, though the Cold Embrace is there, and they've got to be careful for that Winter's Curse. Moon, though, still copping damage. Here comes the rest of the cavalry, and Gabby has to be so careful that the Omni Slash bouncers were not very lucky on Arjit's part. Meanwhile, Cuckoo does find the Wyvern. Now they'll take care of the Shadow Shaman. The RP does come out, but it's only on one. Can they burst down KP? No, they cannot. The Guardian Angel will come out in time, and now they'll turn around onto Tim's. They'll burst him down. Cuckoo comes back in. They're falling low on MSKI, but Arjit again with the Cold Embrace being saved. Mel now trying to dish out the damage. Spin, finger, double Earth Spike comes out from the Lion, and it will save the day for MSKI for the moment. Now the Winter's Curse as well onto Tim, so he won't really be able to do much. All the buybacks being spent on the side of TNC. MSKI will happily walk away with that.
That was a pretty... I'd say it was a fairly good fight for TNC. I just don't understand the buybacks come out. Perhaps not wanting to give away that Roshan is a big thing, but again, you have to remember... Gabby died under Metamorphosis, so he's not going to have that even if he bought back, and it's going to be a minute and 20 seconds until his Metamorphosis is up, so I'm not sure if he's going to be comfy taking these fights for the next minute and 20.
Well, they're going after KP. Now, if they can take him down, it's a massive deal on KP. Cold Embrace will save the day once again. The Ninja Boogie will be the target of Armel, and he will go down. KP still in trouble, can't heal himself up right now. They really want this Omni Knight, but he is healing himself up with that Heavenly Grace while all that damage is coming in. Meanwhile, Armel keeping them busy. The Cold Embrace being put on the Winter Wyvern this time, which will leave KP allowed to pretty much be killed off, although he's making a run for it. Cuckoo will make the chase. Meanwhile, Moon in the backlines gets AU once again, but now here comes Moon. He's going after Gabby. They got KP, but he'll just buy back, and now the Sunder. It'll make it in time, but is it going to be enough? Gabby's already less than half HP, and it looks like that will be a dieback coming out for 3 heroes. In fact, it might be 4. Cuckoo, can he get out of this one? I don't know if he can. In fact, no, he cannot. He does have buyback. But MSKI are really starting to pull away now. 14k net worth lead, in fact, make it 15. Roshan will be going their way 35 minutes into this game. And TNC...
Yeah, it just gets harder and harder for TNC to take these fights outside again. They forced that chase without Gabby's Metamorphosis, which was really curious to say the least. Now they give out the Roche. Armel is trying to get that split push going down on bot, but I'm not sure if that's going to force enough people back from MSKI to stop this push down mid.
See if they can do it. They don't have Gabby for 48 seconds. It should be at least 1 Rax. Armel, he's going to play like an absolute god right now to really delay this. He loses the tier 3. His Sleight of Fist not really doing much damage at all. They will lose the melee Rax. Cuckoo is coming back up, and don't forget he still has his buyback available. That will be the secondary coming out from MSKI now. Do they just go for the Megas? They still hold on to the Aegis, but they are planning to back off. Perhaps the low respawn time now of Gabby is enough to make them just go back and play this out safely.
Yeah, that's a very conservative play coming out from MSKI, considering how wide their lead is. Maybe they are just going to take the time to take out these shrines first, or looking to retake that high ground and finally clearing it out. But again, everything is on MSKI's end. This game is pretty much in their hand. right? It's their game to lose at this point, so they are in control. TNC is playing on the back foot here, and it's not even Gabby's fault. Gabby is actually not lagging too far behind the course of MSKI if you really look at it. He's at 18k, 19k net worth. Jug's actually at 19.3k, and Tiny's just at 21, so he's really not lagging too far behind Gabby, but everyone else on TNC is just really not finding their pace yet. You have Armel, who is trying to catch up to KP, 15k net worth versus 17, but that 2k is pretty massive. That's one mid-game item that's missing from Armel.
And they're going around that Roche pit, but the Aegis is still available on Arjit. The longer this game goes on, the more it kind of favors TNC, because it gives you that chance to come back into this game. In fact, we'll bring up that win probability again, and right now, it's 100% the way of MSKI.
100%.
Yeah. This paid service believes there is 0% chance that TNC could come back.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
If TNC heard you, I'm sure they'd be happy to prove you wrong. But as it stands, they've
I'm
got a lot
simply
to play.
reading out the statistics, John. Arjit.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Get started again. Actually, those illusions do a lot of damage. Jit, gotta stop hitting yourself. Back off for the moment. They'll heal him up again with that cold embrace, with the heals from KP, and he'll be able to do it all over again. One shining light does appear to be the Shadow Demon, which can turn Arjit around upon himself. Gabby waiting in the tree line, waiting for that right moment. Mel chains are there, though Arjit does not care whatsoever. Now he does, and he'll spin and run away. Arjit gets one. Falling low, still holds the Aegis. Should be okay throughout all this. The rest of his team having his back and just waiting. Again, a very tense moment. Both teams just waiting for the right moment. The Moon will jump in. He does not hold an Aegis, so he has to be slightly more careful. They'll throw the Dagon out with the Dream Call as well. The stuns will be there onto two heroes, but there's no follow-up for it. Heavenly Grace once again healing up the Tiny. Moon to be alright for the moment. Gets the melee racks. Needs one more. Mel copying a lot of damage. Again, that cold embrace. Keeping Moon safe. Healing him up to full HP. He'll walk his way out for the moment. Gabby, he committed that metamorphosis. So now MSKI know we just need to back the hell out of here and come back when Gabby is back down. Raging Potato doesn't really want to die if he can avoid it. And it looks like he will be able to walk away safely.
Yeah, again, nice amount of patience coming out from MSKI here. Just taking what they can get, and once they see that Metamorphosis committed, they pull back. They know they can just take their time here, chip away slowly, and take that last set of racks on their own terms. So, just going to sit out this Metamorphosis, not too much left in it, and then that last set of racks should go the way of MSKI.
The Aegis did expire, so that is one positive for TNC. Moon, again, copying a lot of damage, but it won't bother him because Raging Potato is there to make sure he's just perfectly okay. Spider Fist, Armel jumping in, trying to burst down Raging Potato. He seems to be the real problem for the side of TNC. The Moon getting started on Armel. Won't take him out quite yet, though the Winter's Curse is quite nice. Tim's being trapped up in that. Again, MSKI just walking out, playing it safe, resetting. They're just going to keep doing this over and over again. The buyback was there from Cuckoo. Moon will find the Megas for the team, and now we'll get started. Goes after Tim's. RP committed, and a nice skewer back as well, but Moon will literally Shadow Blade, and the dust was just slightly late. Armel wants to get the hell out of there as well, though Gabby getting in, but he's trapped now. Or maybe he is not. Still running. Meanwhile, the backline's Lion falling low, but not low enough. He will survive for the moment. Now they take him out. Armel doing the best he can. Gabby falling low. Nice Sunder. He'll barely survive. Now Moon being chased down, and he will go down. Jit does not want to die as well. Making the run for it with the spin. Cuckoo is on the chase. They do find him with the chains. Cold Embrace. It won't hold him long enough, I don't think. Although he will try perhaps to make a run. But he is going to go down. MSKI. Have they thrown a bit too much? Raging Potato now will be the fourth target. Glimmer Cape will be there, but it's only going to last so long. Cold Embrace will not help with the Dagon. They got Mega Creeps at the very least. They've got all buybacks available there on the side of MSKI. But was that anywhere near enough for TNC to maybe have a bit of an advantage?
Well, look at that.
It's a nice turn of events for TNC. It definitely helps out their cause. They are still significantly behind. I think the big thing here is that Cuckoo does have a decent amount of damage coming out with that Dagon now. He is on Dagon level 4. He is working towards that level 25 as well. I think once you hit Cuckoo's 25 and he starts passively gaining a lot of gold, you could see a lot coming out from the itemization of this puck that will really help TNC. We're starting to see Gabby become a bit bigger as well, starting to work towards that Daedalus. Already has the Butterfly, so he is hitting pretty hard as well. I'm not sure if they do have enough time to really clear out a tower. At the very least, this tier 2 should be able to go down. But anything more than that is probably a bit of wishful thinking coming out from TNC, unless they force the issue with no buybacks.
They're holding on, John. This could be the final push. You generally don't want to wait with Megas. They're going to try for this. The tier 3, mid-tower. MSKI now, back on the ropes. Can TNC pull off a miracle? They'll get started straight onto Moon. They want to take the big target out, although look, he's taking them all on by himself right now, but he needs some help. Cuckoo will get out in time. Moon will get the heal, and Gabby will walk out. He does have Sunder available, however, and KP not backing off this Terrorblade. Meanwhile, Moon still trying to find a target. Now the Winter's Curse. They'll get AU. KP still fighting with Gabby, but he will be KP TP away. Meanwhile, Arjit will find Tim's. Buybacks will be there. All heroes are available right now. Roshan will not be up for another 45 seconds.
Yeah, that's some unfortunate timing from MSKI. Probably, I'm not sure if they're actually just going to wait for that respawn. They're not aware that it's going to be up in less than half a minute, so looks like MSKI may just use this time to start pushing in now, instead of waiting for that rush. I'm sure they smell blood in the water. They understand there are no buybacks left on TNC. The next fight to break out will be the last.
Whew. What a game. What a game to finish this SCA qualifier off. Arjit, he goes and gets the MKB for himself now. Bot lane, Moon, who's he found? He found Armel, just tossing him up and down. Armel does not remnant away. He doesn't have any. In fact, he does now. He will be alright for the moment, but Arjit, who are they going for? They're trying to find Armel. They don't quite get him. The Ancient is exposed, by the way. MSKI, 4,500 Ancient HP away from making it to the Major. They'll move forward now. Gabby, still going to be okay. Has the BKB, has the Sunder. Moon looking for his opportunity. And just playing it so safely. The chains will be there from Armel. Moon copying a lot of damage from that reflection. You're right. Again, they'll just back off and reset. Moon trying to find Armel, who they believe is the real problem here. Metamorphosis still down for another 13 seconds. They're going to have to try and delay this Ancient. Now they have found the Terror. Finger has been used. He's pretty darn low, but it looks like he will walk out of there safely. Now Winter's Curse is quite nice onto Cuckoo, but it will not kill him off. KP, looks like Gabby will get started, has the Metamorphosis now, and they will go onto KP. Nice toss away. The Guardian Angel will save the day for the moment, and Armo about to fall, and he will. No buyback available on that Ember Spirit. Raging Potato currently being chased by himself, but Gabby, it's pretty much him against the world right now. Jit does not get a good Omni Slash off, but he does manage to find Cuckoo, and this could be it. The Avalanche toss is there by Moon. It's all over, John. They're going to try one more time with Gabby, but he's got no Metamorphosis. The Ancient has been exposed, and they're tossing this Terrorblade up in celebration. Nice RP by Tims. He didn't have the skewer available, however, and they call it. Big congratulations to the side of MSKI, who somehow, John, against all odds, do manage to pull through and take this, a 2-1. They will make it to the Disneyland Major.
Yeah, MSKI gets to go to Disneyland Paris, and unfortunately for TNC, they do not. Really well played from MSKI. They definitely stepped up their game for this series, I have to admit that. The performance has been less than stellar throughout this qualifiers, but going into that lower bracket finals must have really ignited something inside them, because they came to play today, Mike. So they do get to move up, and TNC, unfortunately, this is the end of the line for them. But I'm looking forward to how our two qualifiers do end up in the majors, Mike. Hopefully, we will be watching that fairly soon in May.
Absolutely. Of course, John, that is it for us, and that is it for the qualifiers for SCA. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope it was entertaining, and of course, me and John always do try our best. John, any more final words before we do head off from this major qualifier?
Yeah, I hope everyone had some fun. It's been a long day. All the teams played quite well. I'm looking forward to how everyone does, and I believe we have some minor qualifiers coming up relatively soon as well. So there is an opportunity there for everyone that didn't make it to Paris, and just hang in there, guys. It's always fun watching Southeast Asia. I hope everyone else had fun with us. Of course, if you do want to give us some feedback, we are reachable on Twitter at JohnXFire and at MLPDota. It's in the stream title. Just feel free to reach out, and hopefully we'll catch you guys soon.
Yeah. And on that note, again, big congratulations to Fnatic and MSKI. You guys have a great day ahead. We'll see you guys probably pretty soon. Thanks for watching.